now she be running. Now she be running.
All
right. We have, let me just read them off in order so you know who you are, where you are, when you are, why. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We have Brett, then Melissa, then Clyde, then Zane, then Garrett as our clincher closer, super duper bulldozer. And will Brett kindly come forward? Brett Benson! Here he comes, Brett! Yeah!
How you doing, guys?
We're pretty darn good, if you don't mind me saying.
No, I don't.
Well, pretty darn good then.
Candles. A cinnamon pecan bun candle glows on the shelves, resting atop a wood of some caliber and texture. From a tree far off somewhere, cut down and molded in a cabinet factory, perfectly shaped with 6 squares to store anything in the entrance, welcoming all guests with a sweet aroma linked to fall flavors and autumn senses. Candles do a very extraordinary thing in letting the sense of smell take the mind to a place of comfort and remembrance, of a scene where freshly baked goods are brought out to celebrate the season at hand. And any candle can bring about any scent a person may seek to know at the time. There are jasmine candles for a rush of springtime flowers, sandalwood and ocean breezes for a summer glistening, pumpkins, cherries, and apple pie to show off the fall harvest, and frosted pine trees, sugar cookies, and a mixture of mistletoe and holly to bring the winter season to life. How I could sit and list candle scents all day long, intending to engage the deepest capillaries in our noses, lungs, and memories. Yes, a candle brings a scent to life in beautiful form, recalling our memory to ponder the last time we had said experience in real-time form. When was your last cup of hot chocolate? Mine was tonight. A combination of good milk, marshmallows, and the main ingredient of the highest caliber around. Did your current house allow for a fire when it was cold enough out? What kind of wood did you buy? Was the smell of burning wood a sensation enough to reach your cold blood and turn it forever warm? A candle is a bank for the memories brought to mention from before, a flicker of time in life we took a pause to savor the rich, bold impression of our time, place, and situation. We capture a feeling, an emotion, a state of being inside some wax, an artificial recreation. There are many sacred objects we have before us to keep our minds out of the darkness for just a little bit longer, as we wrestle the elements to stay warm and have a perception of belonging. Who would have thought that a fixture around for much of human history could not only light our way, but send our senses in a whirlwind of scented freedom, one lit wick at a time, one decision to add the necessary flair our lives routinely call on when life gives meaning back to fragile life. Thanks. Okay. Second one, little work in progress. It's called Finding Truth. I started searching everywhere to find truth and realized that it was almost nowhere to be found. I couldn't rely on the illuminated box anymore because it told me what truth was, often without presenting evidence. I tried to go back to dead voices, some having been gone for centuries, but they often provided something that gave their context of time and place. Sure, I wanted to learn from them, but they didn't live in the modern age and face some of the craziness that we had before us. There were other times where I felt, as I had said before, that I was stuck inside of the cave and could never get out, because every time I thought I saw light, there was 10,000 other people on some kind of medium who said, no, that isn't light, you're full of shit. I wanted to know what truth was, not for the sake of being superior, but to literally make a place that we had wanted all along, yet never had the capacity to do or the desire. The question was, what was truth? It depends on who you ask. You ask the philosopher what truth is, they won't ever give you a straight answer. You ask the historian what truth is, it depends on who's telling the story, the conqueror or the conquered. Truth was this ever-glowing thing a light that I just could not see far enough into. Sure, it was there, but it was elusive, like a Sasquatch. And sometimes I would go around looking as if I knew what I was supposed to be finding, and yet had no idea what the form was really intended to look like. This was my battle with truth, but it didn't make it any less appealing. Thank you.
Thank you. No way to put the pepper on the pepper on the pepper. Thank you. All right, so Lauren Bacall, Aston Martin, Frederick Holder? No. Okay, so we don't have any of those people. They signed the list. Don't sign the list if you're not going to read. This brings us to the wonderful and the intelligently charming Melissa Mello. Will you kindly come forward? Yeah. What's up? Oh, it's a
big old sausage fest in here tonight, huh?
Oh! You're supposed to bring these other people.
I'm going to read a couple poems by Andrea Gibson. I don't know if you know who she is. She's a queer slam poet. I just discovered these poems today, so I really like this one.
Sorry.
My dog is actually waiting out in the car for me. I usually bring him, and he's good. But this is no, that'd be terrible. It's called A Letter to My Dog, Exploring the Human Condition. Dear Squash, a.k.a. Squashy, a.k.a. Squishy, a.k.a. Squasharoony Gibson, a.k.a. Squish Squash and You Don't Stop, a.k.a. Miracle Button, a.k.a. Little Perfect Peanut, a.k.a. My Beating Heart with Fur and Legs. I know you think it's insane that I still poop in the house, that I choose to wear underwear and pants, giving no one the opportunity to smell my true disposition. That on days I need to feel better about myself, I don't just pee on someone's pee. Don't worry, I am not fooled by my thumbs. I know I am not the tadpole's final project. I know I am not the last species evolution hopes to become. I can't even swallow my own pride long enough to let myself drool when something smells delicious. What must you think of my mirror face? Or how much of my day I spend practicing my butch voice, my baby I'll fix your carburetor with my toolkit voice. But you know full well there is nothing in my toolkit besides a massive collection of self-help books that have helped me do nothing but feng shui my skeletons in my closet. Don't you just love how that femur accents the sofa set, Squash? I'm sorry I cry every time I take you to the vet. I'm sorry they take your temperature like that. I'm sorry I take you there when you've only got a bug bite. Humans hold so tight to the leash of life, but you will roll in anything dead and wear it like perfume. I wish I had your nose for eternity. I wish I could see what you see, where the squirrels Satan your eyes, where the postman deserves to die even when he's not bringing bills. What's with hating the shadow the peace lily makes on the floor in the living room? I know I let you down every day. I choose not to murder the vacuum. Is it bad that I refuse to teach you to not be afraid of men? Is it bad that I want you to keep your bite and your snarl and your gleaming teeth? Is it bad that when they call you a risk, I call you a feminist? You never make fun of your friend Chloe's underbite, or your friend Willow's limp, or your friend Harvey's past trouble with the law. You never criticize me for being too uptight to let my hair down, even though you can let yours all the way out. All over my black hoodie, my black pants, the couch, the car, the chair, the online merch store that sells my books and t-shirts wrote me a letter saying, we can't continue to sell your products if they continue to be covered in so much of your dog's hair. I just assumed that anything covered in you would increase in value. Remember when I told that woman I loved her and whispered in your ear, you're my #1 girl? It's true. If I could, I would put your beating heart in my mouth and suck on it like a piece of candy so I could finally understand how you got so sweet. I know my therapist likes you more than she likes me, and I still let you sleep on her couch. You taught me a good nap is the best therapy. You taught me to sit when I damn well want to sit. I don't care that you never talk about capitalism or patriarchy or the heteronormative hegemonic paradigm. I know you're saving the world every time you get poo stuck in your butt hair and you don't go looking for someone to blame. Speaking of looking for someone, I can't imagine what you think of sex. I can't tell if you think it's a slobbering, badly boundaried belly rub or a poorly aimed fist fight. You just perch on the end of the bed and tilt your head back and forth, wondering why I still haven't taken my pants off. I have issues, Squash. Humans have issues. We dig holes to bury our own hearts. We chew on our own bones. We escape the predators but still can't shake them off. Some of us wear our own bodies the way your friend Berlin wore that cone around her head, remember? So embarrassed, but I never had a better teacher that came to my own spirit than you. Never had a reason to stop playing dead until the day I saw your little face at the shelter, your little nose pressed against the cold glass, staring up at me like I was a gay Noah's Ark. My heart, my heart, my heart. Every time I give you a treat, you run around the house looking for a place to hide it until you finally come to where I am, sitting and hide it directly under me. The most important thing I have ever built in my whole life is your trust. May you always feel entitled to more than your fair share of the bed. May you always tear the stuffing out of every toy I give you, so I can constantly be reminded to keep spilling my guts, to keep saying I don't know how I will ever make peace with the shortness of your lifespan, but I promise to make sure you know you are so loved every second you are here. You know my hands will build the sturdiest ark they possibly can to hold your holy howl and your holy bark and your holy bag. Squasharoonie Gibson, my little perfect peanut, my beating heart with fur and legs.
Melissa. Thank you so much. That's great. Oh, here's. There you go. Wow. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. And now, in case you weren't aware, we have the infamous, well-known, completely highly regarded, well-reviewed Clyde Always. As our mini feature, Clyde Always. Yeah. Come around as he comes up here. This is organization organized, and this whatever.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come on, step right up, folks. Go and grab yourself a front row seat before the gun, they're going fast. You don't want to miss this. Here's stand for another exciting installment of the Clyde Always Show. With me, you're always clever, always handsome, always charming host, Clyde. Always, I ain't no common carnival barker. I am the
Part of the lower hay.